Hey everyone, welcome back to another feature highlight here where we do quick tutorials on simple features in the system that will hopefully make your life easier. Today, we are going to look at a relatively new feature called the container item, and it's found within your invoice view when you go to create invoices. I'm going to show you where that is, what it does, what its use case is, and how it can help you as you're doing your day-to-day orders and putting them together. So let's hop in here. We're going to go into rental orders and then click new order. We'll just add a random customer here. We're going to do it for today's date. And then we're going to go down to the line item, the body of the invoice. And you can either click the plus item like you always do, or we do have shortcuts to pull up the items, the item list with, if you're on a Mac, it's Command A. If you're on a PC, it's Control A. So if I do that, I pull up my list of items that I can select from. Up at the top, you have different types of custom items. And one of the new ones is called a container item. So when I click container item, what this is it's a way for you to, on the fly, create bundles or packages that are dynamic. And by dynamic, I mean you can add any number of items to this. It doesn't have to be a set thing where if you create the bundle item in the inventory section and it's saved in your inventory, that's usually for things like tents or dance floors or things that have a set quantity of set items all the time. They don't change, and you save them and you reuse them later, like a 20 by 20 frame tent or a 15 by 15 dance floor. It's always going to have the same items, same number of items. These container items are dynamic, so it's useful for things like custom packages. Let's say you put a wedding package together, and you're just kind of building it on the fly for a customer. Or if you're doing things that are more custom in terms of like size and shape, like pipe and drape, right? Pipe and drape, 50 feet of pipe and drape could equal any number of different uprights and bases and cross members, depending on what configurations you're doing. So I'm going to do a pipe and drape example today, just so I can show you. So what you're going to do first is you're going to give the container a name. So we're going to call this pipe and drape 10-foot section. Okay, and we'll do white and black satin. Okay, so I've given it a name and a description, and then I'm going to add items to this container. So what that's going to do is going to pull up my item list again, where I then can start searching for my items. So for pipe and drape, I'm going to need a couple of base plates. Okay, we'll add that. We're going to need some cross members, just one of these. We are going to need uprights. So we'll do 10-foot upright, 2 of those. And we're going to need some drape. So we will do our black and white drape satin, 5 feet in width and 10 feet in length. And we'll do 3 of those. Okay. And then we'll add all of those to this container, and we'll see that they populate below here. And these act just like regular line items, where you can actually adjust the quantity and the rates of each of these. From here, you have some options. You can either show these contained items to the customer by clicking this box, and then that way this would actually show all of these individual child items on the invoice. Or you can hide those if you don't need the customer to see it. In this case, we won't want the customer to see it, so we'll hide it. And then for pricing, you can either do the sum of all of these items and their quantities, or you can do a set custom price for this. And you can just set this at whatever dollar amount you want. Also have the same option for taxable and untaxable. Okay, so then what we can do is we can save this as an invoice, and we'll see what happens. So once it's saved, now all of these individual items are going to show up on the pick list, on the prep items report, in the availability section. Okay, so if I go in here to the prep items, let's move this guy, always getting in my way. On the 25th, we see that order that we took, okay, and it does show all of those individual components so that your prep team in the warehouse can go and package up all of these items and get it ready to go out. It's also going to show up in the availability reports. So if I look for the 25th, look for that base plate, individually, all of those items are going to be accounted for. Okay. If it was a delivery, then it would show up on the routes calendar with all the items listed in the routes calendar, and then also on the mobile apps. So if I go back and I pull up the 25th, there's my order for the 25th, and I go into the inventory. All those individual subcomponents show up on the load list so that your drivers can load each item and not forget what they're doing here. Okay, so that's a container item. And we enable this feature to help with those custom packages. We know that there's lots of different scenarios, lots of different types of situations where you may need to do, need to add like custom items to these bundle items. So we made it separate from the bundle item. Hopefully this does help you guys. It's gonna allow you to be able to build those packages on the fly and either show it or hide it to your customers as needed. We'll see you guys in the next video.